welcome back to the Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Dimity. I'm so glad y'all found me again today. My channel is all about cozy mysteries and romance books, and today I am starting a new spotlight, a holiday spotlight featuring Christmas and if whatever other holiday that I can find during this time of year. So if I can find books that are Kwanzaa related, if I can find books that are Hanukkah related, they will also be included here. And I'm kind of including winter themed in general. So I'm really excited. There are a ton, so this will be several parts, but it's going to give us a lot of books to be able to enjoy throughout the holiday season, which I'm so excited about because I can extend the holiday if I have enough to read. Yeah, I can. All right, guys, let me know what holiday books you are reading this year, which ones that you've loved, anything else that you want to talk about down in the comments is the place to do it. On your way down to comment, don't forget to stop and hit the subscription and the notification bell. Notification bell is going to tell you when I put out new videos each and every single week. And the subscription keeps my channel growing. Let's do this. All right, so we are looking at holiday cozy mysteries in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, before we jump into our spotlight, let me tell you about the weekly announcements. So on Wednesday, we'll have our normal reading sprint. It'll be at 6:30 Eastern right here on the channel. And then Friday, we'll have our reading sprints at 6 p.m. Those rotate channels, so I'm not sure whose it will be this week, but I will try to give everybody a heads up within the Discord or Twitter or several other places. So hopefully you'll hear where those are at. And then on Saturday is our normal live at 12 Eastern. We are going to be this Saturday doing our series read along. So what's fun about that is this is the 5th and final book. It is Mistletoe, Musaka Murder. This is, again, the 5th book. It's the part of the Kebab Kitchen series. We've been reading the whole series, and it caps off with a holiday book. So how fitting. I'm really excited to read it. I'm actually in the middle of reading it, but I'm not very far. So can't wait for that Saturday live. I think those are the main announcements. So let's get into this spotlight. There are a ton of holiday books, and I was really excited to see how many choices we had. So a lot of these are obviously just one book within a series or something like that. So if you don't mind reading out of order because you just want all of the holiday fun, this is the spotlight for you. Now, without further ado. So first up, we have Mistletoe Man. This is book 9 in the China Bale series by Susan Wittig Albert. I have not read any of these, but it's been on my TBR for a while, and I'm excited to get to it at some point because Susan Wittig Albert writes one of my all-time favorite series, which is the Darling Delias. So I'm thinking that I'm really going to enjoy it. Next up, we have Duck the Halls. That's a good title. This is the 16th book in the Meg Langslow series by Dana Andrews. Meg Langslow is a blacksmith. This series takes place in Virginia, and it is a really fun series. And I read several of them a long time ago, and I can't wait to get back to more. This has one of the biggest character growths out of a cozy mystery series that I've read I really, really enjoy the series. I got away from it only because I kind of binged it at a few years ago, and I read up until every book that was out. And then I started reading a whole bunch of other stuff, and now I look and check it out again, and I'm like, holy moly, there's 30 books in this series. So I will be getting back to it soon. Next up, we have a couple Aunt Dimities. So there's Aunt Dimity's Christmas and Aunt Dimity Snowbound. So these are, Aunt Dimity Christmas is book 5 in the Aunt Dimity series. This is by Nancy Atherton. And then Snowbound is book 9 in that series. There are 25 books in that series. It's been around a while. Next up, we have Jane and the 12 Days of Christmas. This is part of a series called Being Jane Austen Mystery Series. This is book 12, and I had never heard of this, but I am definitely putting it on my TBR. It sounds very interesting. It is by Stephanie Barron. Next up, the book is called Buried in Bargains. This is the 3rd book in the Goodbye Girls series Buy spelled like you buy something, hence bargains. It says our main character is Maggie Gerber. She is the founder of Goodbye Girls, who are a group of bargain hunters in Virginia. This is book 3. It's by Josie Bell. And that sounds really fun. A group of bargain hunters. I just picture them like throwing like all the stuff out to see what's underneath. Funny. Next up is the 12 Clues of Christmas. It'll be right here. This is part of the Royal Spyness series by Reese Bowen. This is number 6. And this is one of my all-time favorite series. So the main character in this is Lady Georgie. She is 34th in line to the throne, and I think that changes at some point in the series. But it's a series that takes place in London in the 1930s. And oh my gosh, the books are just so much fun. And I've listened to all of them on audio, and the narrator is the best narrator I've ever heard narrate a series. Her voices, her accents, she is spot on, and it's just so funny. Next up, the book is called Mrs. Jeffries and the Feast of St. Stephen's. This is the 23rd book of 40 books in the series. The main character is Inspector Witherspoon, and Mrs. Jeffries is his housekeeper. I've heard a lot about this series. It is on my TBR. I'm hoping to start it sometime soon. I don't have it on my new series to start just because I don't want to start a series with 40 books in it, but I really want to see if I like this series. So, you know, it's an inner battle. So we'll see what comes out ahead in the end. This is by Emily Brightwell. Next up, we have Home for the Homicide. This is part of the Do-It-Yourself mystery series. This is by Jenny Bentley. It's book number 7. So the Do-It-Yourself says the main character is Avery Marie Baker, who is an ex-textile designer and now is a home renovator in New York. Wow. Another cozy that takes place in New York. You don't see a whole lot of cozies in New York. You don't see a whole lot of cozies in like big cities. It doesn't say New York City though, so it could be somewhere, you know, outside of the city where a cozy might take place. Next up, we have a great title. It's Hark, the Herald Angels Screamed. It's gonna be right here. This is the 7th book in the Augusta Goodnight series. This is by Mignon F. Ballard, and it is number 7. The main character is Augusta Goodnight. She's a guardian angel. I have had this on my TBR for a very long time. I only learned about it through doing these videos, and every time I talk about it, I'm like, man, I need to move that up a little bit because it sounds like so much fun. So just moved up a little bit more in my TBR. You never know. I might start it soon. I say that, but I really mean it this time. Next up is a catered Christmas cookie exchange. This is part of the Mystery with Recipes. I usually call it a catered series because every title is like a catered St. Patrick's Day, a catered Christmas. You get the idea. This is by Isis Crawford. This series is so much fun. It's 2 sisters, Bernie and Libby. They have a catering business together. This also takes place in New York. It is just, it's a lot of fun. Their dad is also involved in the series. He doesn't help with the baking. He helps to investigate. He was a copper detective before he was injured. Next up, we have the most wonderful time of the year. This is number 10 in the Oxford Tea Room Mystery Series. It is by H.Y. Hannah, and the titles are just getting better and better, y'all. Lately, I've just been, I don't know what it is. The next one is called I'll Be Home for Christmas. It is right here. This is book 2 in the Very Murder Christmas series. This is by Rosie A. Point, and I'm really looking forward to trying these. I've read a couple other series by her. They're very short, very fun reads usually. I listened to one last week in the Bite Size Mystery by her, Bite Size Bakery Mystery by her, and I think it was like 3 hours in total. And if you're listening to it at a sped up speed, you're finishing it pretty darn quick. Next up, we have Boxes in the Basement. This is the first book in the In It Holiday Bay series by Kathy Daly. I read this recently and I really, really enjoyed it. So next up, I was really excited to see this because I think it's a series that revolves around Christmas. It's called the Christmas Cozy Mystery Series, so I'm assuming, yeah. Book 1 is called Christmas Corpse. It is right here. This is by Mona Marple, and I'm definitely going to be checking this out. Next up is Tinsel Trickery. This is part of the Christmas Paranormal Cozy Mystery Series. It's book 14 of Winter Witches of Holiday Haven. This is by L. Adams. That is another one that I am definitely looking into because this sounds, again, like the whole series might revolve around Christmas. Now, I'm not a huge paranormal fan, but if it's light on the paranormal, I usually really enjoy it. So if anybody has read it, please let me know in the comments below what you thought. Next up, I just read this. This was one of my most anticipated reads for the second half of this year. It might have been my most anticipated read. If anybody can guess it, now is the time. I'll give you a second. There you go. It was 12 Sleighs of Christmas. It is part of the Christmas Tree Farm series. It is book 3. This is by Jacqueline Frost, and I absolutely loved it. It did not let me down. And I really, really, really hope we see more. Please tell me there's going to be more Christmas Tree Farm books. So next up, we have Cookies in the Cottage. This is another In It Holiday Bay. It is number 13 in the series by Kathy Daly. The next one is another series that oh gosh, I absolutely love this series. I think this is going to go on my new list of favorite cozy mysteries. It's, of course, the Campers and Criminals series. The book is Christmas Criminals and Campers. It is book 4. This is by Tanya Kappas. And if you have not tried this series, you need to. It's so much fun. And if you're doing the alphabet challenge with our group, our Killing Time with Cozies group, this is a perfect series to be reading next year for that alphabet challenge. Next book is Christmas Cupcake Murder. This is book number 26 in the Hannah Swenson series by Joanne Fluke. Next up is an anthology, so it's a book with lots of different stories by obviously different authors. It is Mysteries of Christmas, and I'll put it up right here. So next up, we have a holiday collection. It's 3 holiday books within the Wedding Planner Cozy Mystery series right here. This is by Laura Durnham. Next up is Christmas Crisis. This is part of the Garden Girls Cozy Mystery series. This is by Hope Callahan. It is book number 2. All right, guys, so that was part 1 of our holiday cozy mysteries. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, give me a thumbs up. And until next time, I hope all your future reads are 5 stars. Bye, everyone.